Hello, my beautiful friends. Can everybody hear me okay? Somebody give me a thumbs up that you can hear me. I see Kazi is here, Angela, Sarah, Liv is here, Jeanette. I see Serenity, Elizabeth. How are my awesome friends doing today? Somebody give me a thumbs up. It looks like from my point, it looks like everything is working, but somebody let me know. I love you guys, loud and clear. Thank you, Elizabeth. Are you guys excited about this today? I am so excited. And I was thinking, oh, thank you, Jeanette. I feel a little self-conscious wearing this. This is like a work shirt. I just didn't want to look like a scrub for the camera. Vera is here, Gina, my beautiful friends. So I was thinking about what should we work on today? And I was actually talking to Jana and thinking about, thank you, Gina. I have not done any wildlife paintings in years. I've worked a little bit on the eagle that's been on my easel, but I've not started anything in quite some time until this week. So now that I've pulled the Band-Aid off and immersed myself back in this, it's all I want to do. And you guys know how much I love gouache. So I've got my dried gouache palette. And look at how dirty this thing is. They're all dried up, but it's totally fine. So I'm going to just spray it down with my water. So I just get it kind of to get it started is what I'm doing. I've got two things of water. I like to really do one for cool colors and one for warm colors. And friends, are you ready for this? I can't believe I'm going to do this because I was actually very nervous to do it. So let me make me smaller. So this is that Lucetti True Flat sketchbook that I showed in Sunday Vibes. Look at this massive sketchbook. What I love about this, every single page is flat. So, and the first page, which is on the cover, is the actual piece of watercolor paper. So I thought, do I want to take a risk and mess this book up? Yes, because I don't believe in messing things up. So I went into the archives. Hey, Lori, it's great to see you. I went into the archives of my photos and I found this beautiful tiger. This tiger, I don't know if the tiger is still alive because I took this photo 20 years ago at the Exotic Feline Rescue Center in Center Point, Indiana. Vera says, I wanted to start a page with gouache today. We're gouache buddies. Yay, that's so exciting. So I wanted to just work on this. First, I was just going to do its head, but then I thought, no, I'm going to do the whole thing. So I did enlarge the head so I can really see. You see how big this tiger is? And I also turned it to black and white, which can be really helpful just to see value. And I do think it's important sometimes just to paint or color in black and white or blue and white or different shades of the same color. So then I grabbed my nighttime sketchbook, even though it was daytime. So I thought about doing this today. So I'm like, all right, well, I got the photo. Let me get a sketch in. So I went into my evening sketching notebook and I sketched in this tiger. And I'm using the photo, but I did want to make a few changes. Isn't it gorgeous, Jenna? I'm so excited. And the paper is the thickest paper I have ever seen, 600 GSM. I have another one from them coming today. This one is hot press because it's my favorite, but I do have a cold press one coming just to give it a whirl. So I love the pose of the tiger, but you couldn't see its tail. In the picture, the tail is over here. So I used my artistic license and all of the thousands and thousands of photos I have to move its tail over here. I think it just makes a better composition. So Lori's got a big sketchbook and loves it. Yeah, I don't, if I'm being honest, like sketching, I've always just sketched on canvas. I've never had like dedicated sketchbooks that I actually filled out until recently. I've always had them and just didn't use them. Or I used them outside, plein air, but not just sitting and spending time honing in on the craft of drawing, which is what I've been doing. I went a little to town with really wanting to see the marks. And it is, I mean, I didn't trace this, so it isn't exact. I didn't do a grid formula in order to get it on the canvas. What I have been doing a lot lately is painting from life. If you catch my Sunday Vibes video, oh, thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette said she would be happy with the sketch. I'm very happy with the sketch. I remember this tiger. I love this tiger. The eyes are not perfect just yet. This one looks better. This one is a little cockeyed. Thank you, Kazi. In my experience, the eyes, well, we all know this. The eyes are the window to the soul. And what I see a lot of artists do wrong with painting animals or people, but it's even more apparent with animals, are the eyes are wrong. Like they're just too straight, too crooked, cockeyed. I see this in coloring books too. I see the black and white drawing and something just looks off, okay? I've seen this in museums. So I'm not here to critique master artists. All I'm saying is I notice it. I've got like a radar for cockeyedness. So looking at this one in particular, it just, in the photo reference, it's down. Like I've got it angled up a little bit too high, but I'm not worried about it because this is a sketch and I'm going to fix it in paint. Oh, yay, your glycerin arrived, Jeanette. You're going to love it. I have been going flipping mad. Where is that other stuff? I think it's inside, is it? I don't know where it is, but I have been going crazy buying palettes. So not only do I have this awesome one, I have all of those artist toolkits. I'm trying to find the perfect palette, and I just really like collecting things. You know, hopefully you don't hold it against me. Laura says, I love that you're sketching from photos. Give me ideas to use my photos. Oh my goodness, Yellowstone. It has been a dream of mine to go there, and I've never been there. Someday I'm going. A dream of mine is to go to Africa, paint the African animals, and also to Asia and everywhere else. But for now, I am good with all of the thousands and thousands of photo references that I have. I do find it helpful if you're going to do this from photos to look at multiple different angles. Like I really studied this tiger. I looked at it from all different sides. I have video of this tiger, like I could watch it to really understand the way it moves so we can move things if we want to. So I then took my sketch and I transferred it into my sketchbook. And I didn't transfer everything in here. I just kind of did the gist. I fixed the eye a little bit. It's not quite as cockeyed. I will say, because this is the cover, like, let me show you guys. So it lays flat, but this is like, it's going to be like backwards. So I'm going to lean it on this book, even though it's not the exact same size. So I'm not tilted downward. So that's could be considered a problem. I thought about not painting on this page and picking a page in the middle, but I want to have a go at it from the cover. So this is going to be my whatever sketchbook. I don't even know. Hi, Kate. I really want to do a lot of double page spreads, but this one is probably not going to be a double page spread. Eyes make or break the sketch. You're absolutely right. I have taken a piece of tracing paper and I've covered this page because I don't want anything getting on that page. I'm also going to use a cloth and kind of just keep it over it. And I'm going to have my portable painter right here. So I am right-handed, so this isn't necessarily the easiest to have it over here, but I've got this. I'm going to spray them a little bit more. I have several different brushes, but I think I'm going to just mostly use this size 8 round for now, because we've got to do an underpainting on here. I've got another cloth. What I find is I use a lot of barely damp brushes, so I need to be able to make it barely damp, if that makes sense. Let's see if I can slide you guys over so that you can see my little palette here of what I'm doing. I'm going to turn it this way. This is the side with the bigger mixing wells. And make sure that this is set to single. Okay, it is. And okay, let's fix my white balance. Okay, can you guys see everything? Okay. Hi, Yana. It's great to see you. Friends, I am so flippin' excited about this, like really excited. So I've got my sketch right here, and what I'm going to do, I want to get the underpainting down. So what we're going to end up doing is getting rid of the lines, because gouache is opaque, and I'm good with that. So I'm going to just wet my brush a little bit, and I want to make up, believe it or not, I want to make up like a pinky or a violet color to go underneath this entire tiger. I don't like going in with the color that it is, because inside of this fur are lots of different colors, but I like the idea of having a purpley color. Or we could do green, but I want to do purple as an undertone because it's just going to add richness. So I'm going to go in with my custom color. And I really don't want to add very much white here. And this is a dirty palette. So my color has, actually, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to pivot because that color has white in it. And I don't want to use white right now. Instead, we're going to do something crazy. I'm going to go into this color. This is Quinacridone Magenta, and it is actually watercolor. So sometimes I like starting, this is what I did with the frog that I put on Instagram, that video is coming soon. And I need to just get some water. This brush is so good. It holds so much water, it won't let it out. If that makes sense. So I just want a very loose wash. And I don't want my brush to be this sopping wet. So I'm going to just blot it just a little bit. And I'm going to just literally go over this entire tiger. Now, if I was working on toned paper, then I might be able to skip this step. So the paper feels really nice. I don't know if this is how it's going to feel everywhere, but I would imagine it would, because it's the same piece of paper that is glued to the cover. And I will say, if I was doing this all in watercolor, I would have erased these lines a lot more, because you can't get rid of them once you paint on them. But we're using gouache today, so I'm not worried about it. If I go outside the lines, friends, I'm going to. We already know this. I'm not worried about that either. Let me put these on. I thought I already did. There we go. I love to see you guys. How do you do that and not drag your pencil marks around? That's a great question. They're not going anywhere. I used a mechanical pencil to put it down, and I didn't press very hard. I didn't really do any shading, and it's clearly not lifting it up. I did not use a graphite, like water-soluble graphite, which I did buy some. And I do want to give those a whirl, but that's just regular pencil over it. So we can see this is just very rough, and my values are not necessarily right. So, and I picked up some paint that had a little bit of green in it. Okay. That looks like a great underpainting. To speed up the process, my friends, I have my heat tool, and it's plugged in right here. I love this thing because it also is not loud. If this was just gouache right now, I wouldn't care about letting this dry first. Watercolor is a different beast. I find it really helpful to allow, oops. Yep, that's what I just did. It's fine. If you guys know me, I don't get too worked up about this kind of stuff. I know, look at the size of this thing. And I transferred this. I made my own transfer paper. Is it over here? No. Using an 8B pencil on some tracing paper. And I took my drawing and traced my drawing and transferred it onto here so I can line it up perfectly. Because I already figured out the pose, I took a shortcut, and it's totally fine. You can take a photo reference if you took the photo and trace it if you want and use that and go straight to paint. That can be a really great way to learn. I'm just checking to see how it's going. It's going great. That can be a really great way to learn, would be to, you want to see that process. Okay, we're going to do that next time. One of the great ways to really hone your eye is to paint outside. I'm a firm believer in doing that. And painting, like, as much as possible, drawing or painting what you're seeing. Because when I first started drawing this, my paw was too small. The perspective was off because I'm like, it wouldn't be that low or big, but it is. It is that big and low because this is closer. It's leaning towards us. So because I've been doing so much drawing and painting from life recently, it's honing the craft. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of the stuff I do is terrible, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be great right out of the gate. All right, so now I want to go in. I like going darks first. So I think I want to start getting in that like sienna color on it. So I don't have a sienna color on my palette. So I'm going to grab the Pyrrole Scarlet and mix that with a little bit of yellow ochre. And let me grab get over here. Okay. Another great thing to do is to have a scrap piece of paper around just to see what color you're going to get. So that's not dark enough. I want to go darker. So I think I'm going to add a hint of ultramarine blue to that. Yeah. That's making it more like a mud color. Now I want to add a little bit more. That's way too much. I love mixing colors, but it is definitely it's a process. Hi, Brittany. Wait until 2:30. Nutritional counseling. Yes, that's very important. Very, very important. I don't want to have it sopping wet, so I always like to blot. And now, let's see. I might stand up because I'm looking at it sideways. I have my reference photo right in front of me. Way too much water. And this is going to dry lighter than it is right now. This is definitely darker maybe than I needed to go in with, but I'm not mad about it because I like to come over the top and do lots of different layers. I am a layerist, friends. So I'm kind of just doing this loosely here, looking at my photo, seeing, I love how much paint this brush holds. I haven't had to fill it up. Now this is going to look really bad before it looks good. Hi, Alex. Great to see you. I'm going to bring you guys a little bit lower, a little closer. Okay, yeah, it's going to look really scary at first because especially cats look weird before they look good. GI doctor told me anti-reflex diet without knowing how to implement it. Oh, polychromos. Mom is a layerist. You're daggone right about that. So I'm kind of going to put this color, not where I see white, but where I see like the golden color, or the black, as kind of like an undertone. And what I love about gouache is it doesn't cure, so we can soften it. I've been enjoying this so much. It's been making me remember why I love oils painting so much. And I've just been having like the time of my life sitting here in the kitchen painting. Like, it's so much fun. See how much lighter it's drying? Like, it's significantly lighter. I'm going to put a little bit down here, even though I could go gray for that. I do see a little bit of this rusty color. And I definitely am a fan of carrying the color in multiple different places. So it's going to start looking scary, friends. This hypes me up. Now, this foot is definitely darker, but that's fine. And this is more like dirty because he was kind of in some mud, this tiger. And I used to spend so much time with these tigers. I was there every single week, like multiple days a week. And now where I live in Indiana, I'm a lot closer to it. I'm probably about 40 minutes away. And I used to be like an hour and 15 minutes away from where I used to live. Let's see, got out of therapy. I need to see my doctor in about 40 minutes. I sure hope everything goes okay. So I'm kind of just scumbling this on imperfectly, kind of going around this ear. And I do want to put some on it, on both of them, because I see this color on it. And down around here. And that's maybe sticking out a little bit too far, but it's fine. It's fine, friends. Okay. Now I want to go in. I think I want to add a little bit of Payne's Gray to this mixture. Lori says, still haven't tried gouache, but I'm liking how it's looking as another art tool. I flipping love gouache. It's like so much fun. It's so much flipping fun. Okay, this is just a little bit darker. Make sure you can see me. For its paws. And like I said, this is going to look really bad until it looks good. It's part of the process. I love painting so much. I think the colors you use to build up are incredible. The artist you are. Thank you, Jeanette. I really appreciate that. So this area over here is very important. This, we're going to almost make lines that's going to make it look cartoonish right now. But it is a very important part of building up this tiger's face. And I think I want to do just a little bit like this around that side. And it doesn't look good, but it's not supposed to, not yet. All right, now I'm going to go in. I think I want to use almost like a sun yellow. So I'm going to wipe this part off. I'm going to grab some white. And I'm going to grab a little bit of cadmium yellow. Ooh, that's nice. So this is going to be way too bright, but it's fine. So looking at my photo, oh, it's not too bright. And I could even go more orange. Jeanette, you're such a sweetheart. I could go more orange, but I'm going to add orange later, so it's not really worried about it. kind of putting a little bit about that gold color there. Maybe a little bit like that. A little bit up here. Just glazing it over. I love that we reactivate what's behind it. It can be a little scary to do that, but I love it because then we're just going to get more harmony, like color harmony. All right, now I want to go in with more of a white color. So I'm going to take titanium white, and I think I'm going to add a touch. Let's go for it. I'm going to add a touch of Prussian blue. Ooh, that's a pretty color. It almost looks a little green, but I think I'm going to like that. Okay. Making it look weird. We're going to make it look weird, friends. Weird at first. Put some of that here. I love tigers. I have not painted a tiger in a very long time, like decades. It's been a really long time. So this over here is, it's like this part. We're going to need this color here. See, this is a very nice shadowy color. Down here. Get some of that. That might be too white. Like that. We're going to do. Making it look super messy. What do you think so far? You think this looks like shit? It does. And it's okay. Tigers in theory, my high school mascot was a tiger. Ooh. Okay. So it's giving you that back in school vibes. I apologize. I don't know what my mascot was. I went to that performing arts high school, so I didn't even know there was like sports, but somebody said that there must have been. Because I didn't play sports. I'm just using a dry brush, and it's essentially putting on, making it look like, I was going to say feathers. It's not feathers. Making it look like fur. I love this brush. Oh boy, friends, it's going to start coming to life. So right directly underneath it is some white. Over here, it looks so weird. Lucky, Alex says. Oh, well, Lori says it doesn't look that weird. I appreciate that. I know what the end result is going to be. I also know we have to believe in ourselves, ridiculously so. Like, even if we don't know how to do it, we got to believe we can, or we're not. There's no possibility. And I was talking to a patient of mine yesterday, and he said, yeah, but it looks like a tiger. Thanks, Alex. Just wait. It's going to be even better, hopefully. I'm going to mix now. I'm going to mix burnt umber. And I'm going to add in, I think I want to add perylene black. You know what? I'm going to just use perylene black. So perylene black is actually green. It's this color here. Let's clean off one of these. I love this color. Okay. So I'm squinting at my photo, and it would help if it's not laying flat. That's much better. And so where do I see way too much liquid on it? I'm going to start getting in some of the darks. I love tigers so much. It's killing me to not these first I usually start with the eyes with an oil painting because I like to see them looking at me the whole time, the whole time I'm painting. I also spent a lot of time today looking at this tiger, like several hours just staring at it. So that sounds weird, but it can be really helpful if you're going to be working on something to get super familiar with what it looks like. And now what I'm really wanting to do is almost put color on irregularly. I do too, Lori. I love, love, love seeing something come to life. I think that's why as soon as I first got into animal painting, I was totally hooked because I love the idea of watching something come to life. It really means something to me. Down over here, there's going to be a lot of darks. I definitely like the idea of this green color kind of shining through. I've got dark around here. If this was the portrait commission that I was doing, I would probably be a little bit more intentional with where I'm putting the stripes so that they're perfect, because that's one of the things I've always taken very seriously, is that it looks like their animal and not just a animal. But since this is just a portrait, I'm okay with having it a little bit looser, but still want to catch the vibe of the tiger. I hope that that makes sense. And I am a huge fan of putting in all of these colors, even though it might seem like you should just go with orange and black. I do find it can be kind of hard with such a big brush like this, but I've been challenging myself. To use it for as long as possible, because I want to go in with teeny tiny little brushes. But then I'm like too precise out of the gate. So I'm also thinking of this tiger more like I am doing a plein air painting. What I mean by that is that I want to capture the gist of it, caring more about that than I need to paint every single stripe and hair exactly like it looks. If you guys want to see a process where I'm super like disciplined, I'm happy to share that with you sometime too, because it's a little bit different of a process. This to me is more fun. It's definitely more fun. So looking at it, I've already kind of obliterated my lines, but that's fine. And I see kind of like this. Jagged lines are our friends. Let me slide this down. And I want to kind of wedge some of this darker color. I do a heck of a lot of squinting as I'm doing this. Kind of wedging it through here. Let's see. My spray bottle's in the way. Are you guys having a fabulous day? Are you excited about this tiger? I sure am. All right. Now I want to kind of make it look a little better, because it's not looking very good right now, friends. It's looking kind of like a kid did it. So should we do it? Should we put the eyes in? I'm going to do it. I'm going to grab that little brush. This is a size 4 round. And I'm going to just go in with that Perylene black, but I'm going to add a little bit of burnt umber to it. What that's going to do is just make it significantly darker. I've blotted my brush. I'm being very careful here. I'm very careful. eyes are one of the, it is, in my opinion, the most important part of a painting. So let me get my big photo out. Here's my big photo. I got it right next to it. And I see he's kind of sly looking. This comes down. This kind of bleeds in. And then can't forget this. This is such a good brush. Make this. Okay. I've kind of put a little bit too much black in there, but that's okay. Because I'm going to come back around and put the orange in. I'm happy with that. Now let's get that other side in. I usually like to start with where I have the pupil and then looking. I'm concentrating so hard, friends. It's looking like it's looking sideways. I will fix it. This is so small. I don't normally paint so tiny. My tiger paintings are bigger than me. But this is a fun, it's a fun challenge. I need to make this thicker. That's better. This kind of crooked goes this way. Then he's got one of those over there, and he's got a bunch of dots around there. And we've got to put the classic. Okay, it's coming along. What do you guys think? It sucks. It's coming. I believe. Now I'm going to mix up. I'm going to kind of do yellow ochre. Let's do some quinacridone magenta, primary magenta. That's a little bit too peachy. Ooh, that's a good color. Okay, I've got a pretty orangey color. Okay, that's better. See how we just kind of got his eye in there? Okay, it's better. Let's put some of this. I flipping love gouache so much. I can't believe I did not use this medium like this until now. You know, I think I gave it a try a long time ago and was like, oil painting is so much better. I don't know, friends. I think this is better because I don't have to wait weeks to finish this sucker. Jess, my beautiful friend, how are you? We are going buck wild, messing up a tiger, making it look creepy. But I know it's going to end up looking great in the end because I believe in myself. Even if right now it looks weird. So let's get the white that comes around. This is why I like opaque mediums, because if I was just using watercolor, I'm going to have to be really careful. And I don't like being careful. I like to just go for it. That's what I like to do. What do you guys think so far? It's starting to come to life. It looks bad, but it's going to look better. And now that I have realized how much I love using this, game on. Let's see. This actually needs to come a little bit like that. Another thing I really like to do is almost take the paint straight out of the tube and I just kind of blot it, especially with white. Thanks, Lori. And I will say one of the big differences is that because it doesn't cure, if it's like you get it to look really awesome and you're happy with it, you can mess it up. I say that. Let me rephrase that. we can't really mess things up because you can always keep going with it. So I try, as the further along I get, I try to do less and less, and like even walk away from it for a little while, because I don't want to overwork something like this, because then I have to like work so much harder to get it to look not cockeyed. I don't know a better way to say it. I don't like things that are cockeyed. Thanks, Kazi. It's certainly starting to come to life. So it needs a little bit of something else in there. It's kind of flat looking, but it's okay. It's coming along. And I'm going to just use this brush, just kind of, this is so white. It's probably too white. Let's see. This tiger, the sides from one to the other, it is not symmetrical. And that's what I love. So this comes down a little bit. This comes down a little bit. We can then kind of do the same thing here to start getting its, oh man, I love tigers. I am in my flipping happy place. Okay, let's go in with that Paraline green again. And what I'm going to do is just, that's too dark. So I'm going to just add some water to it. What I'm wanting to do is to put that shadow. Yeah, see, that one looks better. Wow, that one looks good. Yeah, I don't like symmetry. If it's symmetrical, I'm out. This eye is a little bit too dark, and this is what's going to happen, especially since gouache dries. Dark colors dry lighter, light colors dry darker. So it's like doing that just to mess with us is what I'm seeing. Okay, I've got just a damp brush now with no color on it, making sure it's not too wet. What I'm doing here is kind of softening. Softening the edges. I was staring at some of my paintings last night, and I was telling Tom, I'm like, I don't know if I can ever get gouache to be as like, friends, if I say flawless, I know I'm imperfect. That's not what I mean. But so like airbrushed, like the background is out of focus, like a bokeh effect. Like I'm looking at my dragonfly painting, like it just looks like out of focus, fuzzy, maybe fuzzy edges. That's what I'm thinking of, where it looks a little bit more illustrative, but maybe it's the way I'm using it. Like I need to learn better. I have to make cheese either square or triangle. That's funny. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, what am I trying to say, friends? I have to hone this craft significantly better. I think the more I use it and push the limits of it, the more I'm going to learn about what I like and don't like about it. I sure hope that makes sense. Let's see, we got to add some of these. Kind of scrub some of this down. Okay, it's looking a little bit better. This needs to be darker. It's looking that way. We need to make it look at me because it was looking at me. Going in with that orange color. that's better. These eyes are so small. So because this is so tiny, I am going to give myself some grace. I'm used to the eyes of the tigers that I'm painting to be like almost like the size of my hand or something. Like they're huge. I can get so much more in there when I have a lot more room. Okay, kind of looks like it's looking at us. It's still not quite right, but that's okay. The next area I usually like to get in is the nose, because the nose is a very important feature of the face also, and it looks like it's pretty bad right now. So I'm going to grab some white. I'm going to stick with this little brush, and let's add a little bit of the pyrrole or the primary red. So I'm mixing up this like nose color. I really like tapping. You guys know this about me. I probably do a lot of tapping, especially if it's this small, instead of strokes. And it's definitely going to need to be darker. That is very pink, isn't it? So let me go into this kind of dirty water. I love using dirty water. It's got kind of a mark like that. Kind of curves around. That's way too dark, but it's fine. It is fine. All right. It's coming along. It looks so bad. It is okay. Let's put some more of this brown color. All right, that's better. I want to bring this color with my little kind of squiggly marks that I'm using. If you kind of have like a messed up looking way that you put your paint down, like it's your hand is shaking, you're going to get better looking fur. So you don't have to be so precise. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. Kind of just roughly putting it in. I'm sorry, Jeanette. That's frustrating. I hate when the internet does not go according to plan. All right, it's definitely coming along. Its eyes are better. That one I really like. That one, I think I need to just bring the pupil down. It's a little too high. I know what I need to do. It's got too much black above it. That is too much paint. Better. Better? You guys like? Thanks, Elizabeth. It was great to see you. So over here, this is part of its like face. This is not good there, but we'll fix that in a minute. So this is pretty much just white. I'm laying in the land, so to speak. And over here, this looks like it needs to come up a little bit. And this is brown. This is white. I love painting. Love it. This has got to come up more. This comes around. We're going to need white up here. I'm just going to do that just to kind of help with it. He certainly is. He's staring right back at us. Okay, that's important. His left eye, it's actually his right eye, still doesn't look right to me. It still looks a little off. The shape of it is slightly off. I've got just a damp brush. So the damp brush, I'm kind of pushing that white down a little bit. That's better. And down over here, well, nothing's coming off. That's better. Why do I feel a training montage is looming? A training montage. Tell me, what do you mean? I don't know why I can't think. It's because my brain right now is, I am totally on that side of my brain right now. I can't even focus because I'm so flippin' excited about this tiger. I went into my pink mixture and added some white. See, this is really my favorite way to do things, to paint, is not having lines necessarily, and I want to do shapes. I want to do it with shapes. Now, I don't want this pink color to only be on its nose. So we're going to put a little bit here in its ears. I'm even going to put a little bit up here. I definitely believe in spreading it around. It's an Eye of the Tiger reference. Oh my goodness. Why don't I have like any kind of like just references that I understand? I don't know, friends. Do you think I'm just too weird? It's okay if you do. All right, he's coming along. His face looks a little bit better. So now I still want to work on its face. So let's get another shade. Let's get like a golden, like a yellow golden color. Thanks, Kate. I really appreciate that. So I'm mixing up. I'm going to add some of this yellow. Ooh, that might be nice. And I'm going to just blot it there. See what happens. So way too much water. I definitely prefer thick paint. I've been a lot more confident when I paintbrush. Jeanette, that's like the nicest thing anybody could ever say. I really flipping appreciate that. That's what I hope it comes across for me, that we don't have to be afraid. We don't. And I get nervous. I'm like out and about painting outside, and then people are coming over and I'm like, oh man, this looks so bad right now. And then what if they are like, man, she sucks? Well, who cares? If they think that, they don't know me. They don't know what I'm capable of doing or not capable of doing. I put that stripe totally in the wrong place. But that's fine. So I want the yellow here, out here. I'm going to have to bring that in a little bit. I got a little crazy with having that go out too far. Looking around. Comes down over here. So the black Let me go in with a black color. So I think I'm going to do Payne's Gray. I keep picking up white. I don't want white. So let's clean this off. It's not really clean. A little bit I cleaned it off. And let's get some Payne's Gray. I'm going to add some ultramarine blue. Oh, I like that color. Hey, Jenna. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is frustrating. I do not like problems. I've got enough problems. We are so glad you are here. Okay, I've got my photo reference right next to it. Too much water. There is definitely a learning curve with gouache, because I would say water control is one of the most important parts. Yeah, it is something new around there all the time. All right, that's looking better. I also find it helpful to kind of, as you start going, if you're doing something like this, focus on one area at a time. If you know that your overall like sketch overall is right or right enough, like it's okay, doesn't have to be perfect, then like I can work on this side of its face to get it to look, and see how I'm doing just like little strokes sideways. Which one am I doing? Oh, that one. See, I didn't even realize which one I was doing. Okay, now this comes down. And it comes up here. Okay, that looks better. Yay or nay? This is a really nice little brush. I'm going super small. And what did I tell you guys? Stay bigger, longer. Here I am with this teeny tiny detail brush. It's fine. I want to be a little bit more precise because this thing has stripes. So I don't have to put every single hair. I just need to do the gist of it, and that it gets thinner up over here. That looks pretty good. I'm over it. Plus, we're having some storms. Oh, be careful. Bye, Alex. It was great to see you. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys missed Sunday vibes to know, like, my grandson was in a car accident last week. It was horrible. He's okay. But seeing him bleeding, because his face was bleeding from glass, I mean, the car was totaled. It really messed with my mind because I would do anything for that little boy. And after we got out of the ER, I told my son, I'm bringing him home with me. I need him. He needs to be with his Nana. Now he's got another. I looked in his ears, and then I was like, okay, he's got an ear infection. So they took him to the doctor, pediatrician, and he's got another double ear infection, that poor kid. Yeah, I'm okay. I wasn't in the accident. I, in a heartbeat, would have taken his place. But he was so stinking cute in the ER. He's yelling and he's handing, like they gave him a sticker. He's only, 13 months old, almost 14 months old. They gave him a sticker and he's handing it back to them. And he's saying, uh-oh, because he knows how to say that now. And he's so cute. But yeah, Tom and I just wanted to hold him really close. And then I had him on Saturday, which is why Sunday Vibes was so delayed, because I had both the grands on Saturday. and it was awesome. Yeah, it was, I mean, you shouldn't be that young and get in a car accident. And where the other car hit their car was right by his door. The windows were shattered. The car was smashed in. And this little sweet little baby, I thought his nose was broken. It's got gashes with blood. I mean, it was, I cried. And Tom was very worried about me driving to the ER. And then they're like, oh, you know, because of the flu season, you all might not be able to stay in there. I'm like, try to stop me. I said, Tom, they will have to arrest me. They were great. They were great in there. And I used to work at the hospital, but now this is the newer building. And I've not ever worked in this version of the hospital. But I was going to bring my old badge thinking, will it still work? And Tom's like, they're not going to work. Yeah. It's so hard being on that side of healthcare, you know, when you're just at everybody's mercy. Yeah, don't mess with grandma if you know what's good for you. You daggone right. But he's doing fine. But as soon as he gets better, like he's okay, meaning, you know, he's didn't break anything, or at least we didn't believe he did. They don't do scans on babies, and I didn't understand that. They're telling me they really want to limit his radiation exposure. I'm like, don't we need to make sure he doesn't have anything internal bleeding? Like he's not, they're like, just keep an eye on him. I was so worried. I had nightmares that night too. It's like the worst when it's like, you know, somebody that you love and they can't tell you like what's wrong. I'm really glad. Yes, he was in a car seat. He would not be okay if he wasn't in a car seat. And my son was he wasn't driving either, but the car that used to be mine, and it's a Subaru. So Subarus are awesome. I have another Subaru, but that was my older Subaru. So the cars crunch, which is good. They crunch, so the people inside don't. This line does not belong there. Let me get rid of it. I got to move it. What did I mess up here? Look at the difference between this side and this side. It's totally different, isn't it? And it's way too yellow. But it's okay because, you know, friends, we're doing it in layers. We are doing it in layers. Oh, I like this brown color. Let's try this one. I get in such a zone when I'm painting. This comes around. And this for like a shadow. I like this color a lot. His mom wasn't driving either. She's okay. It was his auntie driving, and thank God she's okay too. So everybody was okay. Just so scary. I mean, it's the most precious cargo when you're driving baby around. And I'm not just biased because he's my grandson, but, you know, people drive terribly, and it's just really scary. Super scary. Let's see. This. It's coming along. The other thing is I'm not used to painting flat. This is like flat. I like to tilt it up. So I might do that. It's like harder to see. Let's see if I can tilt this up. Let's do this so I can talk to you guys. Whew, for a second. Let me get a drink. It is definitely coming along. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll show you guys what I've been doing to set this up. It's definitely coming along. It's messy looking, but it's what it's supposed to look like at this point. So I've got this here. I have my tablet holder. And what I've been enjoying doing. Oh, this is going to be great. Thanks, Jana. All right, let's see. This is going to be so much better for me. Let's see. I'm totally digging the vibe. All right. For the perspective for you guys to see it, I don't want it to be, that's better. So I have this at an angle now, and I put the book behind it, and I can see it better. I can't see it when it's like laying down. And this book fits really good on my tablet holder. I mean, that's not what this is for, but whatever. So I've got my very, very wet rag and my paint right here. Perfection. I dropped my picture. Trying not to drop anything else. Now, I definitely am more of a realist. You guys know this about me, meaning that I like things to be more realistic. Okay, look at this thing in my face. Let's see. Let's get it so you guys can see me better. All right. Ooh, it's staring at me. Where do you get? Why is he asking me this? Your shaper 2A tape? Tom is asking me a question, but it's not for me. It's for somebody else. Phone a friend, Tom. I do not know the answer to that. Okay, so I've mixed up ultramarine, burnt umber, and a little bit of that perylene green. This is much better. It's so hard to see when I'm looking at something like flat. How do you guys feel about stuff like that? Let's see this. It's like I'm carving. I'm carving this tiger's face. Let's see, I'll try to get you guys a little bit closer. Wowzer. Closer, but not so close. That's too close. This camera cannot focus if it's that close. I think I got you a little bit closer. I want the tiger to look like it's going to step off the page. Like, that's clearly my goal. And we will get there as long as we just keep going. Like, the biggest thing is we just don't stop. I do better flat sketching and painting. Really? I wonder if it's just because the oil painter in me, that's the most experience I have, is doing it standing up. Like, when I'm outside painting with my gouache, I do it sitting up. Like, with the sketchboard, I'm doing it more flat, but with my pochade box, I'm doing it like vertical. Let's see. I want a dark one in there. Refocus, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, need to mix up. I really am not getting the right shade. Let's try titanium gold ochre. mixed with the primary red. I think that might be it. Yeah, it's got a little bit of warmth. That's what I was wanting. Thanks, Jess. Have an awesome rest of your night. I think it's night where you are. It's day for me. Now, my tiger, because I'm doing it like one side at a time, it looks so odd, doesn't it? But I'm here for it. This is much better that my reference photo is next to me instead of like skewed. Because if it's not in my line of sight, because I'm trying to render this to be as close to this animal without me, necessarily tracing it, the closer that my reference photo is to me, the better. I hope that makes sense. So I don't have the dark in there. So let's just put where the brown goes. This. And see how I'm kind of using the side of the brush? That could be a good way to like make it look like flatter fur, meaning like short hair. I also have a habit of like jumping around my picture a lot. Need to be a certain way. Yeah. I am so OCD about things. I will say another thing I'm really loving about gouache is I can just let it dry on my brush and there is no danger that there's no danger of me ruining my brush. I've never experienced anything like this. It's flippin' awesome. Let's add some of those darks to the other side. Do you guys like that I'm doing this, or are you wishing I was doing a page in a coloring book? I didn't even ask you guys. I hope that's okay. I was just so inspired, and I know a lot of my friends have said you want to see how I do animal paintings. So I just took it upon myself. I hope that's okay. It's like puzzle pieces, the way that you see like what am I trying to say here? The stripes. It's so fun to, like, this is way too wide. This comes around. See, if this was watercolor, I'm stuck. Beyond excited about you painting. Thanks, Jana. Lori loves this also. Might be because you're a painter. Kazi loves it. Okay. As long as my friends love it. And you guys tell me if you don't. And I don't want to just do one thing ever, meaning my son, Kevin, he's the youngest. He said, Mom, you've been doing, because he watches my YouTube channels. And he's like, Mom, you've been doing so much painting. He's like, I love it. He's like, I put it on when I'm going to bed. He was watching the Sunday Vibes. Well, thank you, Jeanette. I really appreciate you loving it too and letting me know. And he said, do you think it's going to hurt you that you're doing coloring and now you're doing painting? I'm like, I don't know. But ultimately, I'm going to do what I want to do and not just what I think the algorithm wants, because I'm not going to be here for long if I'm chasing something. Hope that makes sense. I care more about our community and making sure I'm delivering with what you guys want. So meaning I'm still going to be coloring, But painting is such a big part of my life, and I don't want to hide it from you. I also feel like these techniques can be carried over into a book. Well, as an example, a Kirby Rosanna's book, because his animals are lifelike. Now, he's giving you so many things with it that, like the shading, and you don't have to figure out where things go. I hope I'm saying that right. And if I'm wrong, somebody please tell me. But I like to figure that stuff out myself. So as a coloring page, do you guys like the idea of me having just more of the outlines, but not having all of the shading? I do feel like it's almost like a preference, like it could go either way. I went way too wide. Look at it like an illustrator coloring their own illustration. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes flipping sense. But I have been in love with using this medium. It feels so good. And I don't consider myself to be super precise of an artist. Like, I like to be rougher with the stuff that I do, if that makes sense. And gouache, I feel like I need to be a little bit more precise. So it's been a challenge, but I've been really enjoying it at the same time. Mind you, it takes months for me to do an oil painting. And I'm doing these paintings not in months, maybe days, or even one day. It's possible. They're significantly smaller. So there's that. Kazi likes shading. Okay, see, these are the things I need to know. Because there's so many different ways to do stuff. Like the concept of grayscale, which I didn't know that was a thing in a book, like a coloring book, until I got into coloring. That a lot of people like grayscale. Grayscale works with my brain to draw like that, because it's essentially like a sketch, if that makes sense. I'm not paying so much attention to the direction of the hair, but I guess in a little bit of a way I am, because I'm angling my brush in that same direction. Now that's so zoomed in. Where's my other one? Oh, it's right here. Better with shading. I'm slowly learning without it. See, that's great to know, Jana. Okay. Let's do this so you guys could see better. Let's see. I got hubby coloring with grayscale. He loves it. That is awesome. My hubby is colorblind and prefers the grayscale. That's so good to know. Okay, I'm going to stick with this brush, but it might be too small. Yeah, let's switch. Which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to go into this flat brush. This is a 1/4 of an inch flat brush. Let's try this out. I've not done this on these in gouache with animals yet. So let's try it. I'm kind of going in, and my brush is like not, it's dry is the best way to put it. I'm using mostly titanium gold ochre. It's too wet. And I love gouache. That's a little bit too. It's like trying to find the perfect color is science. That's better. I had to add red to it and white. This is a good brush. I went so thick with those black lines. They're way too thick. With gouache, you could just go right over it. Well, it also bled, so that's one of the reasons. While I have this color on, see how I'm going in the direction that hair goes up? So I have my brush. I'm liking it. Bye, Vera. Great to see you. Would you say gouache is somewhere between gel sticks and watercolors? I think gouache is a beast all of its own. I think it is very much like watercolor, but opaque. That's really the big thing. And you can lift gouache very easily, and you can't always lift watercolor. Like you're always going to be able to disrupt what's underneath it with gouache. And that's one of the things I like about it. So the gel sticks, I like gel sticks dry. So I think about gel sticks more as like oil pastels, if that makes sense. That's a good color. It's super bright, but it's a good color. And when I come back with the background around this, it's going to look better. Jana, family looks at you like you're crazy. I know what that means. I know what that feels like, rather. They're just like, okay, there she goes again. I want to get some of this on because this part of the face will be brighter. I'm going to blend it in here in a little bit. This is a great brush for this. It's so soft that I don't have to worry about disrupting what's underneath too much. I love how opaque gouache is. And just layer upon layer upon layer. This is a great color. How did I mix this again? Titanium, gold, ochre, white. So just like we did with those Derwent drawing pencils, do you see how I'm kind of shaping, like fanning out? I'm doing it so dry, like dry brushing. Let me get some white to see if you could see it better. That tiger is staring at me. All right, I'm going to get some white. Okay. Letting it fan out. So I'm looking at this. That looks about right. Like getting it in chunky. Grayscale is the answer to men in particular. That's good to know. His first book was horror movies. I love horror movies. Jeanette gets teased for how long she colors. You know, all of us are artists because you can't, like Tom was telling his friend when we were at the place in Terre Haute on Sunday, all about our awesome community. And he's like, you don't understand, man. They're not just coloring. They are coloring. He's like, it's next level. It makes me so happy the way that he talks about it. Look at how dry my brush is. That's perfection when you're doing fur. for it to be like uneven. Yeah, see, I'll do it here so you could see it because we need some of those light colors. See how I'm kind of doing it sideways? Thinking about the center of the leg and going fanning out from it, just like we did with the Derwent drawing pencils, but doing it with a brush. As it gets further to the side, it's like more like you don't see it as much, so it could be smoother, if that makes sense. Which is better for mixing? Titanium white. Zinc white technically is better, but I've pretty much done away with zinc white. I don't want to take up space on my palette. See, look at that. That's what I'm looking for. And it's getting this effect because of the colors underneath. So I'm going right into this titanium white and just putting it over there. Hardly any, look at that brush. Hardly any water. Now, that being said, my custom colors, I did use zinc white. Zinc white is technically going to be better for mixing, but I've just gotten so used to using titanium white outside because I need it to be more opaque. Zinc white is not as opaque. So if I'm outside and I'm chasing the light and I'm trying to hurry, I don't have time to go over something so many different times. Does that make sense? Are some of the Japanese watercolors, which they say opaque, similar to gouache? They might just use more opaque pigments. Gouache it's very different in the way that the paint is made. It's in particular the binders that are in it. So I would need to look to see like what the binder is to answer that. That is not dry enough because I'm looking for that's better. Let's see, this is going to be short strokes. And I'm going to just keep coming over the top and adding more. It looks like terrible right now, but I know it's supposed to look like this. And the only way you get really good at doing something like this is just doing it again and again and again. It's like anything else, right? You got to practice. Let's do some of this color. I'm really liking this. And I'm just using white. But the white is going over going over the colors that are already on the page. It's definitely starting to take shape. I want to go in and I want to make this darker. So I'm grabbing burnt umber. Ooh, that might be nice. And I added it to my gold ochre mixture. So it's this. It's too wet. So when that happens, I just dry it off. And I'm just kind of going back and forth. This is definitely darker. I know it's going to dry lighter. Darker than I want. Kind of putting this where I see from my photo reference that it is darker and following the angle of its body. This color is actually pretty good. Some of that here. Let's go ahead and put like this. It's taken shape in a messed up kind of way. Now I'm going to add titanium gold ochre to the same color, and that's what I'm looking for. See how thick that is? See, the consistency is not too watery, I'm even going to add a little bit more so that it's super thick on my brush. And thinking about, it's layer upon layer. There's probably another way to do this if you just are so precise. Thanks, Jana. If you're so precise, maybe you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. But this is the only, like, this is how I know to do it. And it's what's going to make this leg here look like you can stick your fingers. You're not going to want to do that in real life because this is a tiger. But like you can stick your fingers in it. And dry brushing is where it is at because it's looking like all little, I'm going to add a little bit more of burnt umber to this. It's also really nice to change the flavor, meaning not to have everywhere be the same shade because that's not how it is in life. There's so many different combinations of colors that we can see. And now I'm just looking at my photo like I want to spread this color around. I'm really liking this color, but it needs something. I think I'm going to add a hint of primary magenta to it. So adding the magenta, I'm going right into this. Now that's a pretty nice color. Let's see what that looks like. Especially I'm thinking about this leg. Yeah, because it's got a little bit more warmth to it. And like these hairs are almost like sideways. You got to just train yourself to see if that makes sense. And how do we do that? By just staring. Staring at the photo. And thinking about what do I really see versus what do I think I see. I sure hope that that makes sense. Now I'm almost scrubbing this on the page because it's helping things to like blend together. So I do a lot of little brush work and then almost like a smoothing things out. And I see like some of this stuff, it comes like, oops, I went too far, but that's fine. Thanks, Angela. It's going to keep building for sure. And I love that I'm doing this in a sketchbook. Like I'm telling you, friends, I've never done this before. Everything I did was always on huge canvases or at least an 8x10 at least. And something this involving would have been on a much bigger canvas, but I have done miniatures. I've done miniatures, but I mean, this is a miniature, which is a different, like it's another, I'm going to dry my brush is way too pigmented. Okay, you see what I'm doing here? I love gouache. I'm kind of just looking at the way the hairs grow. With my dry brush, it's got barely anything on it. And this is what I would do with oil paint with a really, just a dry brush that it would soften everything. I guess I just answered the question I had before, which is, can you do it with gouache? This is exactly what I wanted to see if I can do this. This isn't the final layer. But see, now I'm not doing anything to that because the brush is too dry. So you got to have just a little bit on it. So I'm picking up just a little bit of that color. Oh, I love that. And just scrubbing it on. Oh, it's coming along. Add just the teeny tiniest little drop of water. I'm going to add some more gold ochre to this so that it is a little bit yellower. See, now I'm using the corner of the brush. You see how I'm going outside the lines sideways? That's the way the hair grows over there. This kind of comes down for that toe. Same with this. This comes down. The toes are going to take some work. There's a lot happening there. I'm not going to do that yet. See this? It's starting to get thicker, to build up, and I'm not doing it everywhere. I'm missing some spots. That's going to help with the realism. Angling the brush. This is a freaking great brush. Look at this. And love, friends. How am I hungry? I already ate lunch. I ate an entire container of tofu and a bunch of Brussels sprouts. Why am I hungry? I'm going to dry this brush off just a bit. And just like I did down there, I'm going to start scumbling on little short strokes to build its nose. You guys will have to tell me how I do. It's going to be darker over there, but we don't want it to be too harsh of a line. This might be a little bit yellower than we want, but remember, it's going to dry a different color. Like that already looks better. Bring this down. It's even over here. Putting a little bit here. Look at how dry this brush is. Nothing's coming off barely. Pick up a little bit more paint. A little bit more. There we go. Let's get some white. Are you guys excited for this? I am super excited. All right, I'm going into that white. I need a little bit of water because look at how dry that is. I need a little bit more. A little bit more. Awesome, Jana. I'm going to go in right this second with the white, but let's do it. And I'm getting this dirty. It's fine. Just a hint. That might be too much. This is too watery. I'm going to keep. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to blot it. And I don't know if this is going to be a good color. We're going to try it. Oh, yeah. Just like we did on this side. That kind of curves around. I'm missing a stripe in here. I'll have to put it in. Tapping, because I'm a tapper. Tapping there, and now this. This is a really important part of the tiger because we want this to recede. So this down here, I'm going to do some bigger chunky strokes. Then I'll have to darken this a little bit in there to help it to recede. This is what I've been waiting for, this brush to get a little drier. It will pick up the color that's underneath it to some extent. Like this, it's not wet, but going over it, it can lift it. But I like that because it won't look flat. I made those a little too long, maybe not. It's going to look weird before it looks good. I'm going to add another pile here and just make a gray color. Let's try this. This is going to be too dark. I can tell it's too dark just from looking at it. That might be okay. It's kind of dark, but we're going to go with it. So I know that this is going to have to be blacker, but let's just go with the flow. Let's put this color for like the pads. I got to define these more. They definitely don't look defined. This, he was in some mud. He got into some mud. Janet is pissed that she missed the first hour. You can go back and watch it later. I sure hope the quality looks good. Does the video quality look okay? I sure hope so. So much of this is just repetition. Over it, over it, over it. Like I keep going over and over the same spot numerous times. There is a little bit of this gray color on its nose. And in there, I want some of this color in its ears. Over there. Maybe like as a transition between those two, and I'll have to come in and smooth this out for sure. A little bit in here. That's looking better. It's going to need some brightness. Even though this is gray, I can still use some there. And here, and maybe. Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And Jeanette, I didn't have a premiere. I'm so glad the video quality is great. That means everything to me because I'm pouring my heart and soul into this and I'm having the best time. I am going to spray my colors. I'm not going to spray my painting. So just spray them down a little bit. And let's go in. We're doing light, dark, light, dark. Now I want to get that black color. So I'm going to grab some Payne's Gray, Paraline Green, and some Ultramarine Blue. So I'm really going just for a, let's do our scrap piece. Ooh, that's a really good shade. Add just a little bit more of Payne's Gray. I'm kind of wishing I had indigo on my palette. Like that would have been a perfect color to have. Now I'm using the corner of my brush. You see how I'm going in this diagonal? When we look at the picture, it isn't straight. Like it's got this curvature because it's going around his body. And it doesn't have to be exact. Sometimes I will emphasize something even more to help it to look curved. I love how it goes up. Like that there is a game changer. Jeanette is behind. I think you may need some cards. I may be hungry after tofu. Cards? Oh, carbs. I don't do very well with carbs. See, I've got a continuous glucose monitor on. I have really low blood sugar. Like, step away from coma low. Like, it's low. And so the more carbs I eat, the lower it gets. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is what happens. So this here is too high. I mean, too low. I'm moving it. I'll have to move that. It's too low. This is where I want it to be. kind of changing my mind about it now. Let's see. I do want to put a little bit there. I move features around all the time. Like I'm constantly moving stripes in paintings as I'm refining it, because it's almost like I'm seeing more clearly. The more I get in, the more details. Like this is a really big one. And it kind of goes up like that. This is an awesome color. Do you guys see how good this color is? And this goes on an angle all the way to the side of it. And then it comes. It's got another little one around it. Oh, it's really taken shape. Let's see. I've got this one in, and I've got this one, which that looks about right. It's going to need a lot more darks around this part. And it's kind of like underneath this, and we can put some little dots. That might be too thick, but it's fine. It's fine, friends. Oops, I went there accidentally, but it's fine. That's my word of the day. It's fine. This one. I love that we have a lighter wash on first. So meaning watery wash. And now I'm going in much more thickly. I'm using the corner of this brush. Thanks, Emma. I really appreciate that. If you are here and haven't said hello, please say hi. We all love hanging out. I was so sad that I could not go live last week because I had that work meeting, and the only thing I could have done is to go live for like 45 minutes, which seemed like a tease. But I felt really disconnected from you because we didn't hang out. Now I'm twisting the brush to the other side because I have a lot more paint. This brush holds so much paint. And I'm doing kind of sideways. It might seem like it's a lot of work. It's so fun though. Like doing it like this is so fun. I'll have to add more white. I obliterated it. You guys are so awesome. And, you know, I was a little bit nervous to do this because I've been an animal painter forever. I've painted in front of people, but I've never painted animals on camera. They didn't have YouTube when I started painting. That, you know, what if I screw it up? And I'm like, you know what? The great thing about an opaque medium is you just paint over it. If you don't like how something looks, paint over it. We're definitely getting that face in, aren't we? So I need to put these stripes on its head a little bit better. So looking at its eye, I have some kind of over here. And on this side. And moving up this, I might have add a little bit more Payne's gray. Okay. This might be too curved. Maybe not. So right up over here, just using the itty bitty corner of that brush, angling it because the head is round. So like this, these two kind of meet in the center like this, and then it goes this way. And you have some little ones, and it even has like a almost like a line there. It's not the line shouldn't be connected, but it's okay. I'll come over the top with some other color. This comes around all around the town. That, and then it starts to get like you can't see them as much. So then there's kind of like a little bit there. But then we're going to have a lot more other colors. And my line is not even in the center. Do you notice that? I screwed that up. This is the center. It's because I'm looking at it sideways. Why I love opaque mediums. No fear. I'll just move the line. Move the line. And this one over here will have to get moved also. So let's do this. Let's give me a do-over. Can I get a do-over right here? It's going to glaze in too dark. Again, this is why I love opaque mediums. Just a damp brush now. It's helping me to erase, so to speak. I want to keep this overall shape, how it kind of comes out. It comes almost to a point in here. It's okay, Mr. Tiger. I'll fix you up. Let's add a little bit. Is that too much? Let's try it. I think it's going to be too red. A little bit too red. Let's add a little bit of yellow. And some white. Okay. I'm glad that happened and I screwed it up so you guys could see you don't have to worry. It's literally because I was painting sideways. Don't paint sideways, friends. Okay. So we had our do-over. And I'm not mad about all of these colors. Let's put, this is a good color. Little short strokes. Back here. I'm not mad about this because it's kind of like we have all of this underpainting now back here and it looks so good. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't. It's whatever. While I have this color on, I'm really liking it. Add some more details. I could add all around that ear. So that ear is going to kind of come around like that. So I need this sideways. I'm kind of just scrubbing. That's probably a good way to put it. I'm kind of scrubbing. So there's definitely more of this orangey color. Ooh, I like that. Go right over that dark in some spots. I'm going to check my blood sugar. You know what I need, friends? Your girl needs a dry red. And I need to step back at this and look at it and see, do I like where things are? Because I can always move some shit around if I don't like it. I'm really liking this paper. I can't wait to try like a regular piece and not the one that's like glued. But the paper's nice. Of course it's going to be nice. It's 300 GSM. Just kind of roughly putting this in. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Tiger's coming along. Before I do want to check my blood sugar. Too wet. Too wet. See how lightly I'm doing it? I'm missing it. Like I'm not even hitting it every time. Bye, Kazi. It was so great to see you. I sure hope you liked this. If nothing else, we all are hanging out, right? That's what I love, is to hang out with my friends. Pop white. And over here, that corner of the brush. Yeah. Just bring those features back that I kind of lost. That's better. It's definitely not white up there. It's more of this tan color, but this right here, I don't like the shape right there. It looks better in the video, I think, than it does in person. All right, let me check. Oops. Let's see. $83. It's good. It is good. Tom's asking me how my day is going, so let me tell him live stream. He'll be like, oh, I forgot. Oh, how are you doing, my beautiful friends? Let me step back. Oops. I threw that heat tool right on my foot. It looks better from a distance. It's coming along. It is coming along. Let me go in with my darks. I tried coloring in Fantasy World, couldn't get any good results. Out has come my paintbrush. Oh, sweet. I can't wait to see how it goes. Okay, so I would like this to be in the damn center. Okay, I got a center point. That's what I was looking for. Because then they all kind of come off of that center. Now, I drew a daggone line down the center of its face. That's not actually what I want, but I wanted to get the center line. So we are good. Now, getting into that orangey color again. Oh, this is a good color. Just a damp brush. And if I do use the bristles kind of sideways like this, it almost makes an indent like fur. Thanks, Jenna. It's looking a little rough. It's going to get better. Way too much water. What I might do is put in a lot more details of its like face. That might make me feel a little better about myself. Oops. I covered up a little bit of that eye, but it is fine. Now I'm kind of vibing doing it like both sides of the face at the same time. I think it stressed me out a little bit just to do one face, one side. And I keep looking back at my reference and checking myself. Kind of top of its ear on that side, and same thing with on that side. Hey, Chrissy, great to see you. Yeah, this is coming out pretty good. Pretty good. I'm definitely in love with gouache. You guys are so friendly, and I love it. I love how kind all of us are to each other. We're so welcoming to everyone. I love it. Thanks, Chrissy. I really appreciate that. It's a process. And I'm showing you guys something that normally takes me a year to do. I've never done it this quick because I would have already had to let this dry like 10 times. But this is drying so quickly. And I'm in love with this. See what I'm doing with my slightly damp brush? I'm able to like get softer. Like this here was too harsh. That's already better. It's so much better that it's not so harsh. This face is too wide. It's bothering me so much. Let's fix it. A damp brush. I have that new brush. Where is that at? I have a brush that like is a scrubber, but I have not tried it yet. All right, I made it a little softer. That's better. It was such a hard line. And I'm going to put a background of some kind. But I don't want to do it now because I don't want to do it now. All right, I'm feeling better about the tiger. Do you think it looks better? Let's see. I want to do its face. I'm going to grab that size 4 round, and I'm going to go into this dark color. So I'm using Perylene Black, which is essentially a green color, ultramarine blue, and burnt umber. So it looks like this. And it's super thick. Let me stand up so my perspective is right. See, it's dry. I can rest my hand on it. Thanks, Kate. I really appreciate you. This needs to be a little bit more like uneven right here, so it doesn't just drop off the face of the earth, if that makes sense. Get some of these dots in, and this kind of curves down. This is so fun. I love this type. I'll say, hey, baby. That's what I say to my grandson. Hey, baby. All right, I'm kind of bracing my arm here so that I can get this in. I kind of knocked into it before. I'm pressing so lightly. I'm barely touching it. Okay, that looks better. It's a little bit too thick, but I can come back over. I just want to make sure it's dark enough. If that makes sense. That eye looks a lot better. This left eye, which is the tiger's right eye, has been giving me a trouble from the beginning. I'm paying such close attention. This is a great color. So I've got that, then this. Got another one here. Bye, Lori. Great to see you. See, now I'm literally like painting little hairs here and there to help that to have more depth. because the grayer that's underneath shined through in some spots. It is really coming along. I want to do the bottom of its nose. Let's see. That's too dark. Let's see. That's better. Add a little bit of white to that. Clean my brush off. See how we are able to smooth that in right there? This hypes me up. I don't want this nose to look super outlined. Okay, did you guys see that? That's like a game changer right there with the nose. It looks so much better. So much better. It could use a little bit brighter. I'm doing my tapping technique. Now my brush is dry, slightly damp. All right, let's get a little bit. I'm going to get some yellow. I'm going to grab a little bit of green. I'm going to go into my blue green. It's a turquoise blue, turquoise green. I can't remember what the hell color I put in here. Oh, that's so much better. One of the tricks to tiger's eyes, because they're kind of orangey, is to make sure you do green. You want to put some green, especially in the shadows, and not just gray, so that they don't look like flat eyes. Then I'm going to go into the gold color again. So they're almost speckled. I think that's a good word. Now I need to go into like just a pale gray color. Make sure you have your brush at a really fine point. Do you know how small that is? I need to widen this other side. My black is not long enough, wide enough. It's got that line there. I can't think of the right word. That's a very important part of the tiger, or all around its eyes. Well, obviously, all of it's important, right? So excited to be getting a page done in here and to be doing this. Super excited. It still looks pretty messy. But it's how it's supposed to look right now. The way that I paint, this is how it is. Like, I'm dying to put those whiskers in, but it's too soon. Something about that side of its face is still not right. It looks pretty right from the photo. I need that to be a lot darker. That's why. I need to bring the black out. So going back in to ultramarine, Payne's Gray, and Paraline. It's a good color. I kind of like mixing it up between this smaller brush and that flat brush. I feel like the two of those together is helping for me to create this kind of texture that I'm looking for. That's better. Because the way that the stripes are laid out is what is going to help it to look right. Because they're contouring around its head. So you can't just place them just anywhere. That's better. Are you guys team animals or is it too tedious? I would love to know what you guys think. I love it. I just settle in knowing I'm going to be here for a while. Team animals, yay! I'm really liking its nose. It does have a little black dot on it. It has to be softened. This takes so much concentration. Jana says, I wish I could get mine to look like that. I believe in you, my beautiful friend. You are an amazing colorist. So much of it is we have to believe what we see is what's really there. As weird as that sounds, because we're going to not want to do it the way it actually is. Our brain is going to say something's not right about it, except it is right. It's almost like we have to unlearn what we believe something looks like, if that makes sense. I'm going to give it a go in a coloring book, though. That is awesome. That is awesome. And I do find a lot of it has to do with the color, the values of something. Like here, I need a lot more of this dark coming around to help to contour that. And then this, that's better. Put some right there. I'm going to blend this all in right here. Thank you, Jana. I really appreciate that. Sometimes things don't work, you know. I just keep trying, and if I have to move something, I'll move it. I would rather move it than something looks cockeyed. We all know how I feel about that. All right, already that foot looks better. It's not going to be that dark when I'm done with it. Everybody is so quiet, my beautiful friends. I'm sorry that I'm so quiet. This is taking all of my concentration to bring this daggone tiger to life. I would love to know what everybody's doing. And Jana wants to know what everybody's doing too. Okay, that's looking better. Looking better. As we're working out this cutie here. This is an awesome freaking brush. Jeanette's putting a base layer of watercolors in the title page in Fantasy World. That's awesome. I do have that book. I need to film a flip through. I haven't done a flip through for a while, and I know you guys love flip throughs. So that's on the docket. I'm going to try to get it done tomorrow. It's going to be awesome, Jeanette. I know it. What's everybody else working on? Angela is putting some glitter. Oh, that's awesome. That is flipping awesome. I think I poured a dry red. Oh, I did. Pardon me. Cheers, friends. I forgot I poured this. Let's take a little pause. I forgot that I paused this. I forgot that I poured this, and I haven't had any of it yet. Thanks, Jana. I love doing flip throughs. Jeanette says, I've heard so many people not finding a good result with pencils. It's very simple. It is? Share your wisdom, Jeanette. Everything is better with glitter. I cannot agree more. Cheers. All right, you guys, Team Tiger. It sure is looking better. I mean, friends, this is far from like done. This is just the beginning. I am loving this dried gouache palette, though. I'm really enjoying, way too wet. I'm really enjoying it. some of this out. Let's see if I can smooth. Thanks, Jeanette. I love tigers. I flipping love them. I'm going to go in with the size 4, this flat brush again. Oh, the 1/4 of an inch flat brush, barely damp. And we're going to just do some blending. This is something I'm really trying to work out. I don't have a lot of experience with gouache. I mean, I do and I don't. It's not like oil painting for me, which I know like the back of my hand. To see how far I can go with it to get the effect I'm looking for, because I know what I'm looking for. See, I like that. The way I was able to smooth that. But then the color gets muddier on top, but the black looks good. So I might need 2 different brushes doing this. One to go over the dark and one to go over the white. I could see doing that because I'm doing this. It's going to smear the black, but I want to smear it because it's going to look more real if it's smeared. And like these little hairs, see, this is the part I absolutely love about gouache. It's a little intimidating because you don't really know what you're going to get when you do this. And see, now my brush is too dry. So rinse and dry it off. This area is starting to look better, but it's still not right. So I'm going to go in and purposefully put some darker color there and see if I can smear everything together. This way I'll kind of smear it sideways. And I always think about my last thing I'm going to do is what's on top. But it's kind of like we're sculpting this. That looks better. It's too dark. I'm just using straight white right this second. Not that I need it to be white, but it's going to mix. Okay, that's better. Mix with what's underneath it. Okay. It is helpful to look up there and see it on the camera and then see it here, and I'm looking at the picture of it. And we're going to have whiskers. And remember, in life, you're not going to see, thanks, Angela. You're not going to see every single thing like you do in a photo in real life. So it's kind of like I'm looking for that happy medium, and I'm not going to know it until I see it. But I wasn't sure, friends, how fur was going to be, and it is flipping awesome. And look at my brush. Do you see the bristles? You see how frayed they are? They're not. This is a new brush. But that's what I want, because that's almost like giving me the effect of fur. And you see how I'm kind of covering the black? Oh boy, that looks good. That is what gives the illusion of it here. We have to cover it up. I hope that's making sense. Like that, I like. Like the chunky pieces, this is a very dry brush. Okay, so my concerns that is this going to be possible? It is. I'm essentially using a lot of different techniques at the same time. I'm using dry brush. I'm using, well, obviously I'm layering. Have we met? I'm doing a little bit of dry brush with the blue with the same color, but it's just like this gray. That's what I meant. This is the Sarah Burns Studio brush. I will say I'm very disappointed in the company because one of my brushes is messed up and they're giving me a hard time. And I told them I'm not very happy about it. Ultimately, I'm sure they're going to take care of me, but they wanted a video and it's like, your girl's busy. If I say something's wrong with it, something's wrong with it. So this is the Sarah Burns, and the other one, by Yana, be careful, is the Emma LaFave. These are probably my favorite right now. I don't know. It's between both of these. I am going to get another set of each and another set of the travel brushes because I love both of them. And I don't want to risk that they run out. I want a brush that has spring to it. Okay, so why am I putting all this blue in? Because I want to do the dry brush on top with the white. And if I just have white on there, it's not going to look right. This is such a nice shade. Almost dry brushing right there. I see this in the ear. I have a lot to do with the ears. I've hardly touched them. And I want to put, that's too much. It's okay. Up there. We're going to need this. I didn't even realize that's not beige. That's white over here. But because it's in the back, it's more like gray. Yeah, you got to be safe. See, now I can come over and I can put that hair that's on its toes. That paw is going to be great when I'm done with it. Yeah, and I don't want to throw them under the bus. I love the quality of the brushes. It's honestly the travel brush, the magnetic closure doesn't stay on, so the cover doesn't stay on, and it bothers me because I don't want to drop it. And they did offer me like $15 off my next order. I don't want that. I want the damn brush. I want the brush because it's the size 4. That's my favorite size. They're going to end up taking care of me. I will let you guys know if they don't. Oh boy, this is starting to really take shape. So with this one, I love how, do you see how the texture I'm able to get? Because the brush is like dry. It's like, it's doing like perfect fur. Without me even having to try. All right. So the same color, I'm just loving this color. Like when I say you only need a drop of water, this is too much. That's too much water. We can see what that looks like. I like to do that. That's a little bit blue still, but let's try it. It's a shade lighter. Remember, gouache doesn't dry the color that it is. Darks dry lighter typically, and lights dry darker. So you got to plan accordingly. But few things are going to be just white. Even if you think it's white, it's not. Because if we look at the value, like this is light. And I overemphasized this picture, meaning I purposefully turned the contrast way up. I definitely like looking at things in black and white to see how it's working. Does that make sense? Sometimes I feel like I just can't get the words out. See, now that's already looking better. Thanks, Jana. It's coming. It's coming along. Again, this would take me months to get to where I'm at right now. And this is like almost 3 hours. Well, I also drew it. So I've spent hours on this tiger, like spending time with the tiger. And it's coming. It's coming along. Now I have such a cool color. Hey, Vicky, we're so glad you're here. Thank you. I want to get a warmer color white now. So let's start another well. And to this one, I'm going to add a little bit, that's too much, of gold ochre, yellow ochre rather. And see, this is going to lay down on top of that darker color. I'm going to come back around and do that trick that we were doing with softening things. Way too light on its little paws. Okay, dry it off mostly. I did not like that, so I'm just kind of pushing it out of the way. Say, get out of here. Get out of here. Push it. I dried it again. So kind of pushing and pulling from both sides. I want this to be softer. So just scrub it. Making sure every time I hear something, I want to make sure the baby's okay. You can definitely achieve softness, but you got to be careful that you're not muddying everything. So like you might have to rinse your brush off a lot. Vicky, he is doing so much better. Thank you. He does have a double ear infection. The kid can't catch a daggone break. But he is okay from the accident, thank God. I'm going in with that dark mixture, and I didn't put too much on here. I'm just very lightly. Ooh, that looks good. Very lightly. You see, dry brush, barely any paint or water on here to get it softer. Like I needed. Look at the ends of this brush. That's looking better. Teeny tiniest little water, just the tiniest drop. Just to activate what's on my palate. Yeah, ear infections do stink, and he's just had, so many in such a short period of time. They're going to refer him, maybe needing tubes. I do have some probiotics coming for him. Really high grade. Wow. You see how great that looks? This isn't me trying to sound stuck up. I'm so happy with how I am able to blend. I didn't know that was going to really happen. I'm pushing this gouache more than I've done. I guess it's like anything else. The more you practice with something, the more you get the hang of it, right? I think gouache is my favorite medium. I can't believe how fast this is going. Like, it's unheard of to be this fast. Now, that being said, I have painted paintings like outside at the zoo, actually, around me when I was featured as they had an art show and I was the featured artist. And we all did plein air painting. So we all painted outside, and I painted elephants. I painted penguins and flamingos, but I just did them a little bit looser. I also picked animals that are easier to do looser. Like birds can be great. Tigers are a lot more involving, and getting in all these stripes. This takes a lot more time. Elephants are one of the best to paint. If you need to do something like a little bit like faster, if I'm making sense. It makes sense in my mind, but I don't know if it's coming out the way it's in my head. I need to look at photos of this tail because I'm using a different tail, and it's not in my photo and it doesn't look right. So I'm not going to sweat the tail. I'm not going to sweat the tail right now. But I am liking this effect. This ear. Take a sip of my wine. What do you guys think? It's starting to look like a tiger. Thanks, Jana. Vicky, I was never good at drawing myself either. A lot of it is just saying, you know what, I'm going to do it. And just keep doing it. Keep practicing and get through the phase where you're like, this sucks, because I couldn't draw stick figures. Like all of those games, like Win, Lose, or Draw and Pictionary, like when my kids were little, and I was a painter, but I could not draw. You know, I didn't, my brain just doesn't see in that way naturally. So the more I paint outside, the more I'm doing stuff from life, the better I'm getting. And I've got a long way to go, you know. Definitely coming along. We need a little bit of dark over there and right. Really working to capture the gist of it without having to paint like every single, what am I trying to say? Without having to paint every single hair. Thanks, Vicky. It's just the start of it. I'm probably going to be working on this for a year. I mean, that's what normally I would be doing. I don't think it's going to take a year. That was not the right color. Thanks, Jana. I'm so glad you guys are into me doing this. I know we're colorists, you know. I've just been so inspired. I love gouache, that's why. And I've really been missing painting animals. Gonna get some orange in there. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take a potty break. Un momento, don't go away. I'll be right back. Hello, my beautiful friends. Glad you're still here. Unless you've left. I also got a package, so I ran out to get it because my sketchbook, the new one that's just like this, but in the I think it's the cold press paper, was delivered. You painting and coloring, how you do just fascinates me. Oh, Vicky, I really appreciate that. I wasn't sure if I was going to lose a lot of people. You guys are going to be like, I don't care about your tiger. This is coming out great. And I got to say, I love how matte gouache is. Awesome, Jeanette. I'm so glad you're still here. I don't have to worry about my my brushes drying and I'm ruining them. I'm cold. It's because I went outside and it's so hot. Should I open the other sketchbook? I think I should. Whoa, is this not tight? I need to be careful this doesn't fall off. Let me grab that package. Look at this daggone box, friends. I need a knife. Hang on. Not knife. Yeah, a knife. Let me get my handy dandy knife. Voila. Just throw that on the floor. Look at how they package this stuff up. The box looks different. Holy cow. Look at this box, friends. Do you see this? Let's do this. Ooh, it is the cold press. So I got the black one for the cold press. Oh, wow. This is so like textured. See, I much prefer hot press. Am I even going to use this? Am I even going to use this, friends? This is so textured. I'll use it. I want to get creative. I want to get creative. I love this one better. I love smooth paper. I think for gouache, it's awesome. But I could do watercolor in here. I kind of wish I bought 2 of them. I made the right decision, didn't I? I did. I'm not going to have buyer's remorse. I know the sketchbooks are awesome. Okay. Where were we? Wow. The tiger's really coming along, isn't it? Let's get you closer. And so much of this is just, you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's really starting to look good. I wonder what I'm going to do for a background. I think I want to just do dark, like green. I don't think I want to do like a whole forest. I don't know. You guys have any ideas? I'm still here, Tara, just watching, not feeling well. Oh, Gina, I'm so sorry. I'm glad we can keep you company, but that really stinks. I wish there was something I could do, my friend. So just keep coming over the top with more layers. Way too light. This is a really nice teal. Ooh. And just do like it's a portrait of this tiger, like as if he went to like a department store to get his photograph taken. And you know the backdrop, how they have out of focus backgrounds. I could see doing something like that. Usually for animals, I have them in a scene. Trying to think if I've ever done it not in a scene, but I don't want to put a bunch of whatever woods in here. Like I would have already wanted to figure that out if that's what I was going to do. And I want this to be about the tiger. The eye of the tiger. I'm taking you to bed with me. I've had a, oh no, Jeanette. You can't seem to catch a break, huh? Just like my little grandbaby. Well, I don't know if you've been sick. I feel like you've told me you've been sick. And that just really stinks. So yeah, as weird as that might sound, take us to bed with you. We want to go. We want to hang out with you and help you to feel better. Do you see how coming over the top, now that we have so many layers, this is where gouache shines, is coming back over the top again. Look at my splayed out brush. I think I want barely dip it in water, and I put way too much. I'm making like a muddy color, but that's comorbidities. I'm sorry. That's a better color. I just want to warm this up just a little bit in there, just a little. Okay. It's like a dance between warm and cool colors. Tom's going to go nuts when he sees this. He's like, I'm so excited. He loves that frog. I love that frog. But I have been itching to do this, and I want to do a painting of our dog that passed away. Well, I've had two different Lucy's, and I've painted both of them, but I want to do it with gouache. One, Lucy 2, not that she's second, was a chocolate lab, and she was such a doll. And my other Lucy was a miniature poodle. And short-haired animals are a different beast to have to do. It's not that they're harder, it's just different. I think long hair, I would say I think long hair is easier. Easier might not be the right word. Like it's more forgiving. So isn't that easier? Hey, babe. I was like, holy shit, what are you bringing in? Wait until you see. Huh? I did. You like it? I got the 2 packages that were outside. Did you see them? Oh. Let me say hi to Tom. Tom's here. What do you think, babe? It's awesome. Thank you. Tom says hi. Hi, Tom. Jeanette says hi, Tom. Jana says hi, Tom. So I just added a little bit lighter color. Jeanette wants to know if you got the template made.
Did?
He did. It's awesome. Vicky said, hi, Tom. Yeah, he got the template made, and we were there a long time. Well, 2 hours.
2 hours.
It felt like a long time.
First time wasn't a win.
Yeah, he had to make it more than once because the first time was not a win. Took my glasses off and can't see. Vicky, I can appreciate that. If I take my glasses off, I can't see either. I think gouache is my favorite medium. Thanks, Jana. You used to teach woodwork? Are you kidding, Jeanette? Jeanette used to teach woodwork.
Heck yeah. Don't judge my work.
Did you hear him, Jeanette? And Janet, Janet. Good. Can I speak today? Because I'm saying Jeanette and Jana together. I really appreciate you saying that. I mean, I've still got a long way to go to feel like I've truly figured it out with gouache. It's not, there's things wrong with this still. It's coming along. I'm very happy with what I'm able to do with the medium, if that makes sense. And cooking, textiles, metalworking, graphic design, graphic products. Wow. Love that. You just made me think my youngest son, Kevin, he just got a 3D printer. Because he's making stuff for his Lego town. That I want to say kid, but he's 27. He's still my kid. Wrong. It's just like some stuff's just like the paws aren't right. Like little things. I'll get it. It's like the color's not right. It's still like it's either too light, too dark. It's coming along. I don't want to sound like a jerk. I feel like it's a little bit harder. I say that, but look, we're sitting here for 3 hours and I've gotten so much done. It's different than oil paint. Oil paint is just easy. If I say easy, I just sound like an asshole. I don't mean to. Yeah, Jeanette, he was telling me that I need to get one for my new studio. He's like, you'll be able to just do crazy organization. Or he said we can work out a trade because he wants to use my Cricut. He's my son and I'm his mom. We're going to help each other. But to use, for me to use the 3D printer and he uses the Cricut. Yeah, it's coming along. Like this back leg doesn't look good yet. It will when I'm done with it. It's a little flat. I'm lacking some dimension on its leg. It's like I see all the things that need work, and I'm really glad I do. Because if we don't see it, we can't correct it. We can't tweak it. But I am loving this dry brush technique that I'm doing. See how I can come over the top and just start. I mean, it looks messy, but it's just starting. I sure hope I'm making sense. Tom picked up more wine from the Oliver Winery because I joined that day when I went there to paint. And the shipment has been ready for quite some time. And he works right near it. So I said, can you pick up that wine, please? As I've never painted in my life person, I think it's perfect. Thanks, Jenna. I appreciate that. I'll say I've come a long way with trusting my drawing skills more. When I first started painting animals, I did a lot with of tracing, you know. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that because it does help to teach. But I will say the more I practice, the more confident I get, which makes sense, right? I appreciate that, Jenna. We need t-shirts. T-shirts of the tiger? That's an awesome idea. This tiger, I love this tiger. I actually love this tiger, like the living tiger. I need to go back there. I drive by there all the time. I drove by there. Was I out that way yesterday? Monday? Where did I go yesterday? Oh, no. It was the day before, Sunday. When we went to Terre Haute, we drove right past it. The Feline Rescue Center. They used to sell all of my prints and greeting cards, and I gave them to them. And I worked with a local print shop, so they printed them for me for cost. And I didn't charge anything to the rescue center. I just let them keep it, and it meant like so much to me to help the animals. But back then when I went, they let me roam free. I didn't have a guide. I just went and did what I want. But it's been a long time since I've been there. I don't know if they'll remember me. Probably not. So I might have to have a guide. And it was so nice not having a guide because I could just stick my lens straight through the fence because there was a fence in between me and this tiger, but I just stuck my lens through it. Well, that's kind of dangerous, right? Because then the tiger could scratch me. But you just jump out of the way fast enough. I'm sure that that's probably not allowed anymore. This was a long time ago. Rules have gotten stricter since then. This is way too much white. That's better. See, even just a little bit to soften that, and I could use another, it looks like there's another black one that I obliterated somehow. Just a little bit of color on the brush. And here's my, just a little bit of color, and it's helping me to like smooth out. Like, look. This is a great color. But again, it's going down over all of these other colors. But it's helping to smooth what's underneath it is what I am trying to say. I have a lot to do with those back legs. And I think for me to get it in, I'm going to like have to look at it differently because something is off. Something is off, my friends. It's really coming together. This is way better than acrylic. I used to use acrylic a lot too. And I never liked it because when it dries, it's permanent and it's also kind of shiny. This is like, why didn't I use it? I don't think I knew enough about it. Vicki, I really appreciate that. I used to teach, like this is what I did full time. Well, I was a full-time artist, but I also taught workshops. And I did a lot of one-on-one or like small groups. And I want to get back into that. And I would like to do this somehow with our memberships. You know, I'm trying to think of how. I thought about maybe I need to actually start a Patreon because then there's more you can do on Patreon. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think so. There's more that we could do there. I'm thinking about it. But if I do that, I want to teach like stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop coloring. But if I'm going to like really go full on and doing more with teaching, I want to really dive into the animals because that's what I love. I used to teach at an art association. It was me and another artist. He was a colored pencil artist and he was so good. We both had similar style. He was phenomenal. But just a different execution of it because he did the pencils and I did the painting. And the same people took both of our classes and it was so fun. Like it was just so fun. Vicky, I really appreciate that. That means so much to me. I am going to figure something like that out. I just don't want to turn off people that are not interested. You know, I don't want people to get mad at me, but I got to be true to myself. And this is like in my soul to do this. It's in my, hopefully you guys know that. I'm just warming it up a bit. Oh, that's better. A little bit of dry brushing on that side of the leg is really making it pop. This is like so relaxing too. I think it's relaxing. I'm kind of messing the tiger up. Just going in with some white. I am pretty hungry. Really thinking about the angles. I don't want my brush to be so wet. I'm going to go back in with that dark color. So I'm going into Paraline Black. Again, that's a green color. And I'm going to add, well, it's so dry. Let's put a drop of water in there. Burnt umber and a little bit of ultramarine blue. Now, burnt umber is kind of like an opaque color, and some of these other ones are more transparent. I kind of want more of a transparent color. Oh, that looks good, though. All right, we'll go with it. More darks. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Constantly looking at my reference photo. Way too much paint. Let's clean that up. I'm thinking let's look at this color. Want to put in oh, my beautiful friends, whoever is still here, I think I am going to call it for a live stream. We've been at it for 3.5 hours, give or take. And I need some food. This is a really great start. It still has a way to go. If you love this, make sure you let me know and share it so that other people get to see it, and let me know, and I'll do more tutorials like this or even filmed videos like this. So let me know, okay? I love you guys, and I hope to see, I'll see you this week for another video. Have an awesome night. Thanks, Jana. You're awesome. You guys are awesome. Bye, Kate.